Hi guys, Sage Topaz here. I hope everyone is having an amazing day and staying safe. And if your day isn't going so great, well, hopefully this video can cheer you up. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Mortal Kombat! Mortal Kombat! Scorpion, get over here. Jax, come here. Liu Kang, waya! Mortal Kombat! Yes, I'm going to be talking about Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2, the movie. That's what I'm going to be talking about. Me and my big bro went to the theaters to see Mortal Kombat 2, and it was amazing. It was an amazing, action-packed, fun movie. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, you will absolutely love this movie. It was better than the first Mortal Kombat movie. In my opinion, it was way better than the first Mortal Kombat movie made in 2021. That was amazing. But Mortal Kombat 2, in my opinion, was even way better than Mortal Kombat 1. So yes, I'm going to be reviewing Mortal Kombat 2. So yes, let's go. So Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2 was released May 8th, 2026. Mortal Kombat 2 stars Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, Adeline Rudolph as Kitana, one of my favorite Mortal Kombat characters, Hiroyuki Sanada as Hanzo Hasashi or Scorpion. And yes, there's so many other talented actors. Louis Tan as well was also in Mortal Kombat 2 as Cole Young. And yes, Mortal Kombat 2 is a sequel to the 2021 movie Mortal Kombat. And just like the first Mortal Kombat movie, Mortal Kombat 2 is rated R because it's very violent, it's very gory, and it has a lot of language. So Mortal Kombat 2 is rated R. It's not for the kiddos. However, if you're, a parent and you and your kids play Mortal Kombat, and if you're okay with your kid watching it, that's fine. But it is rated R. Yes. So anyway. So like I said, Mortal Kombat 2 was a fun movie. And also, spoiler alert, this video is going to have a lot of spoilers. I'm going to be going through the whole plot of Mortal Kombat 2. I'm going to be going through the entire story. I'm going to be talking about the characters that died. So if you have not seen Mortal Kombat 2, and you want to see it, stop watching this video right now. So yes, please stop watching this video and go see Mortal Kombat 2. And then after you see Mortal Kombat 2, you can come watch this video. But spoiler alert, I'm about to give out major spoilers. Spoiler alert, you have been warned. So that's my warning. I've given my spoiler alert. Okay, so let's get into it. So Mortal Kombat 2. So Mortal Kombat 2 is the continuation. It continues the story of Mortal Kombat 1. And I feel Mortal Kombat 2 had a lot of storylines going on. So Mortal Kombat 1, the 2021 movie, the tournament, there wasn't a tournament, but in Mortal Kombat 2, there is a tournament. Woohoo, yes, there was a tournament in Mortal Kombat 2. So as the tournament is going on, there are different storylines going on as well. So the free storylines in Mortal Kombat 2 are about Johnny Cage discovering the great fighter he is. Johnny Cage not believing in himself, and then eventually, becoming this amazing fighter. Kitana, there's also a storyline about Kitana, and the third storyline was about Shao Kahn getting an amulet in order to become invincible. So I feel those were like the free storylines going on in Mortal Kombat. So in Mortal Kombat 2. So here we go. So Mortal Kombat 2, it starts off, let's start with Kitana. So let's start with the first storyline. So Mortal Kombat 2, it starts off with showing how Shao Kahn defeated the King of Edenia. Kitana is the princess of Edenia. Like I said, I love Kitana. I love using her in the Mortal Kombat game. She's so much fun to use. One of my best characters, her and Melina. But anyway, so yes, so the first scene of Mortal Kombat 2, it shows Shao Kahn defeating Kitana's dad. And Kitana's dad, the king of Edenia, he is very strong, and he was he's a very strong fighter, and he really was very tough, and he really tried and put up a good fight. But unfortunately, Shao Kahn was more powerful, and he ended up killing Kitana's dad. And it was really sad because Kitana was a little girl, and she saw her father get killed by Shao Kahn. And Sindel, she tried to kill Shao Kahn, to get revenge against her husband, but unfortunately Shao Kahn was just too powerful. So after Shao Kahn defeated the king of Edenia, he took over, and he ended up marrying Sindel, and then he became Kitana's stepdad. So it was really sad. But when Kitana was a little girl, from that moment on, after seeing her dad getting defeated by Shao Kahn, she had nothing but hatred for Shao Kahn. And from that moment on, she was plotting her revenge against Shao Kahn, and she was gonna get revenge for her father. So years later, Kitana, she's grown. She's an amazing fighter, and her and Jade was assigned to be her bodyguard by Shao Kahn, and her and Jade are around the same age, and they grew up together. So Jade is her bodyguard, but they ended up being best friends. They're basically like sisters, and they train and they spar all the time. So they're sparring, they're getting ready for the tournament, and so this Mortal Kombat tournament, Earth Realm has to win this tournament. If not, if Earth Realm, wow, what is happening? If Earth Realm loses this Mortal Kombat tournament, Earth will be taken over by Shao Kahn. So it's very important that the warriors of Earth defeat Shao Kahn and win this Mortal Kombat tournament. It's really important. So everyone's preparing for the tournament. Kitana's preparing for the tournament. Raiden, Sonya, all the other fighters are also preparing for the tournament. So Kitana, she secretly goes to see Raiden. Like I said, she hates Shao Kahn, and who can blame her? Because Shao Kahn is a jerk, who killed her dad and took over her home. So she's been plotting against Shao Kahn for years. So what Kitana does is that she secretly travels to go see Raiden, and she gives Raiden information about Shao Kahn, because again, she's trying to bring down Shao Kahn and his kingdom. So yeah, she's been doing this for years. So her and Raiden are friends, they're allies, and they're trying to defeat Shao Kahn. And yes, so that's one of the storylines. The other storyline, so the tournament is happening. Raiden has gotten his fighters. He has his fighters like Sonya and Liu Kang and Jax. My boy Jax, one of my favorite characters as well. And they need another fighter. And that fighter is Johnny Cage. So yes, so Johnny Cage is in the movie. He used to be like really popular, like back in the 80s. He was a really popular action star, but over the years, his career kind of like faded. So Johnny Cage is kind of like a washed up actor, and he goes to like these comic conventions and movie conventions, and he does that to try and get some money, but people don't take him seriously anymore. They're like, hey, isn't that Johnny Cage? Wasn't he like famous back in the day? Like, but now he's like a loser or whatever. So yeah, support Johnny Cage. He's a washed up actor. So he goes to this convention, not a lot of fans talk to him. He goes back to his car, and when he's about to leave, Raiden and Sonya appear, and then Raiden tells him about the Mortal Kombat tournament, and then Johnny Cage, of course, thinks that Raiden is crazy. And then Raiden, he does like his lightning thing, and then Johnny's like, whoa, how are you doing that? And then, Raiden is like, he sees that, oh, this is real. So he follows Raiden and Sonya, and they're transported to Raiden's, lair. And, Raiden introduces him to Jax and Liu Kang and Cole, and they explain to Johnny Cage that, you know, there's a tournament called Mortal Kombat, and Earth has to win this tournament. If not, you know, Earth is going to be destroyed and taken over by Shao Kahn. So Johnny Cage is like, I'm just an actor. They're like, you know, and, you know, Raiden and Sonya are like, no, you know martial arts. You're a martial artist. He's like, yeah, but I'm still an actor. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just an actor. So Johnny doesn't really believe in himself. And again, he thinks this is all really crazy, but he decides to stay anyway, just out of curiosity. So yeah, so the tournament begins. For some reason, I don't remember. Did he go back to Earthrealm and then come back? I don't remember. But basically, the tournament begins, and one of the first fights is with Kitana. So Kitana and Johnny Cage fight, and Kitana kicks Johnny Cage's butt. Like, woo! And that was an amazing fight too. So, but Kitana, she didn't want to kill Johnny Cage, you know, like she didn't, even after she defeated him, she didn't do a fatality. She was purposely trying not to kill him, you know. So she won the tournament and she went to the next round. Johnny Cage lost. So, yes. And then another part, so yes, so Johnny stays to continue the tournament. He freaks out at first, but, you know, Sonya kind of, you know, and Raiden convince him that, you know, Earthrealm needs him and he needs to believe in himself and all that stuff. So he stays for the tournament. And then the other storyline that is going on is about Shao Kahn. So Shao Kahn, he's trying to win this tournament by any means. And he's trying to cheat. So one of the ways he's trying to cheat is he wants to get this amulet, Shinnok's amulet. And Mortal Kombat fans, you guys know who Shinnok is. If you don't know Mortal Kombat, Shinnok is like one of the bad guys in Mortal Kombat. But anyway, so Shao Kahn wants to get this amulet, and Shao Kahn needs to power up this amulet. And when he powers up the amulet, and the amulet is like bonded to Shao Kahn, he'll become invincible. And Quan Chi, is the sorcerer, and he was gonna help Shao Kahn accomplish that. So what they do is they retrieve the amulet and they revive. So in the last Mortal Kombat movie, Kung Lao was killed and Kano was killed. So they brought them back to life, and Kano, they brought him back to life because I believe he had the amulet. So they got the amulet from Kano, and unfortunately Kung Lao, you know, he became a revenant, you know, because Quan Chi, when he brings people back to life, he kind of makes them like his zombie slaves or whatever. So Kung Lao was a good guy, but unfortunately, when he was brought back by Quan Chi, he was he became mind controlled under Quan Chi. So unfortunately, Kung Lao became evil and corrupt. So he became like this undead soldier to Quan Chi. Now Kano was already a jerk. He was already corrupt. So Quan Chi couldn't turn him into a revenant because Kano was already like a horrible person anyway. So, but yeah, so he was brought back to life. And so they got the amulet, and then, you know, Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, they attack Raiden, and then when they attack Raiden, they kind of like, they attack him, they almost kill him, and they're able to get Raiden's power. So they use Raiden's power to power up the amulet, and then Shao Kahn binds the Quan Chi, uses, you know, his sorcery or whatever to bind the amulet to Shao Kahn, and now Shao Kahn has become invincible. So yes, so there's a lot going on. So okay, so during the movie, one of the things many things I love about Mortal Kombat 2, the storyline, like I said, there were so many storylines that were really interesting, and also the fight scenes. I love the fight scenes of Mortal Kombat 2. But you know what? Let me get to that later. Let me finish the story. So there's a lot going on in the story. So Shao Kahn has become invincible, and he's still fighting in the tournament. And during the tournament, you know, Shao Kahn is able to defeat the different characters because, again, I mean, even without him being invincible, it would still be tough to beat Shao Kahn. But now with him being invincible, it's even tougher. So, yeah. So, let me just summarize the story real quick. So, yes. So, they go through the tournament. Shao Kahn kills some of the characters. Ultimately, in the final round, he ends up facing Kitana, and then Shao Kahn is like, "Wait, no, you can't, like, no, Outworld has already won, we already defeated all of Earthrealm." And Kitana was like, I'm gonna represent Earthrealm. So she ended up representing Earthrealm. So Earthrealm still had a chance. So she represented Earthrealm, and she was able to defeat Shao Kahn. And let me tell you, that fight scene with Kitana and Shao Kahn was absolutely amazing. Whoo, it was such an amazing fight scene. So yeah, so she ended up defeating Shao Kahn. Oh yes, and before that, Jade. So Jade found out that Kitana was partnering with Raiden and the rest of the fighters. And, Jade, that's Kitana's best friend. She loves Kitana, that's like her sister. But at the same time, Jade is very loyal to Shao Kahn. So she ended up reporting Kitana to Shao Kahn. And Shao Kahn punished Kitana, and he ended up chaining her up as a prisoner. So Jade was like, I'm really sorry, you made me do this. She's told Kitana that, she cares about Kitana, but she's loyal to Shao Kahn. And then Kitana was like, Shao Kahn is evil, and, you need to not be loyal to him because he's evil. So eventually Sonya and Johnny Cage, they end up rescuing Kitana, and that's when Kitana fights Shao Kahn in the final tournament, and she defeats Shao Kahn. And also Johnny Cage, he didn't believe in himself, but throughout the Mortal Kombat tournament, he just gets stronger and stronger, and eventually he's able to release his powers, and he does his really cool shadow kick move and his other special moves that we all know. So yes, so Earthrealm is saved. Kitana is able to get revenge against her dad. She defeats Shao Kahn. Johnny Cage believes in himself, and yes, and they live happily ever after. So that's the summary of Mortal Kombat 2. So aside from the storyline being really interesting, one of the things I loved about Mortal Kombat 2 was the fighting scenes. Whoo! Those fighting scenes were amazing. Oh my goodness. It was so badass, the fighting scenes, the choreography, the fighting scenes were absolutely amazing. Like, one of my favorite, there are so many fighting scenes, but I have to say, I think my favorite fighting scene was the scene between Revenant Kung Lao, and Liu Kang. That scene was so badass. It was so badass. Oh my goodness. It was amazing. The way Kung Lao's hat was just spinning in the background as they were fighting. Man, the way that, it was such a good fight scene. And like I said, Quan Chi brought Kung Lao back to life, but Kung Lao was evil. So Liu Kang, Liu Kang and Kung Lao are best friends. They're like brothers. And Liu Kang really hesitated to fight. He didn't want to hurt Kung Lao. But if he didn't kill Kung Lao would have killed him. So unfortunately, he ended up killing Kung Lao. But yes, that fight scene with Kung Lao and Liu Kang, honestly, I think that was my favorite fight scene in the movie, because it was just so, the choreography, the way they showed all the different special moves of Liu Kang and Kung Lao. And then, Liu Kang ended up doing a fatality on Kung Lao using Kung Lao's hat. Whew, it was such a good fighting scene. Another good fighting scene that I loved, all of them were so good, but Sindel and Sonya's fighting scene was really badass as well. And Scorpion and Noob Saibot, that fighting scene was amazing. Oh my goodness, especially when he said, "Get over here." Oh, when he said, "Get over here," my goodness, it was so cool. Oh my goodness, yes. That fight scene with Scorpion and Noob Saibot, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like, it's honestly, Is it? No, no, no. You know what? I can't decide if I preferred that Scorpion and Noob Saibot over Liu Kang and Kung Lao because they were just both so good. But I think I prefer Liu Kang on Kung Lao. But the Scorpion and Noob Saibot fighting in the Nether Realm, amazing, amazing. And yeah, what other scene? I just thought of another fighting scene. There were so many good fighting scenes in the movie. There were so many good fighting scenes. Oh, so let's get to the characters that died. So spoiler alert, I'm about to tell the characters that died. Spoiler alert, you've been warned. So one of the characters that died, Liu Kang. Liu Kang was killed. Jax was killed. I was so sad when Liu Kang and Jax. I was like, no, not Liu Kang and Jax. So yes, they got killed. And then Cole Young also he fought Shao Kahn and he ended up getting killed as well. And so I like Louis Tan. I think he's a great actor and I'm really happy for his success. But the first Mortal Kombat movie, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't happy that Cole Young was the main character. So them killing off Cole Young, I kind of don't really care if they killed him off. I'm sorry. No offense to Louis Tan, but Cole Young, he was just like a random character they brought in Mortal Kombat. I know, like, they made the storyline about him being related to Scorpion, but still, he's not like one of the... He was just a random character. So honestly, I didn't really care when he got killed by Shao Kahn. But he might come back in the third Mortal Kombat movie. We'll see. But yes, yeah, he got killed. Raiden was badly injured, but he recovered, so he was fine. Who else got killed? Oh yeah, when Jax got killed, that was really, really sad. When Liu Kang got killed, that was really sad. Who else died? I'm trying to... Noob Saibot, oh yeah, Noob Saibot, they really killed him. Yeah, so there were definitely like a lot of fatalities in this movie. So yeah, so at the end of the movie, after Earthrealm is saved, oh, sorry, before I get to that. So also Baraka, I really liked Baraka in this movie. They kind of made Baraka, in the video games, like, he is a very badass character, but he's usually like a very serious character. But they kind of made Baraka kind of like, he was kind of like a comic relief. They made him a bit like his character more lighthearted, which I liked. It was nice to see this friendly side of Baraka, because when Baraka was introduced in Mortal Kombat 2, they needed the Tarkatans' help to get into Shao Kahn's castle in order to get the amulet. But anyway, so him and Johnny Cage ended up fighting, and Johnny Cage ended up winning the fight. And then Baraka was like, man, I'm so impressed. Can you please teach me your moves? Him and Baraka and Johnny Cage ended up being friends, which was really funny. So yeah, so I like how they kind of made Baraka kind of like a comic relief. It was cool. It was nice to see like a lighthearted side to Baraka. And Baraka looked really, really badass, I have to say. He did. So yeah, but yes, the fight scenes were amazing. And at the end of Mortal Kombat, after they won and they saved Earthrealm and all that stuff, they said that they're going to find a way to get bring their friends back to life. And bring also Kung Lao. They're also going to try and see if they can make him, uncorrupt him, make him a good person again, bring his soul back, and make him a good person again. So Mortal Kombat 2 ended with kind of like cliffhanger. So hopefully the characters that were killed in Mortal Kombat 2, hopefully they come back in Mortal Kombat 3. I really hope that they bring back Liu Kang and Jax and Kung Lao as well. And if they bring back Cole Young, sure. Sure. whatever. Yeah, like I said, I just thought Cole Young was kind of like a random character. So if they bring him back, cool. If not, I don't really care. No offense, Louis Tan. Again, I like Louis Tan. Think he's a good actor. No offense. I like Louis Tan. I'm just not like a fan of Cole Young. So yeah. But anyway, what else? So yeah, it was a fun movie. Also, like, yeah, so Quan Chi and Shang Tsung were in the movie as well. And Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, they are jerks, you know, they're the villains, but the thing is they're such badass villains, you know what I mean? Like, I like villains in video games and, you know, movies and TV shows that are cool, you know? That's one of the reasons I like Wesker from Resident Evil, you know? And Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, they are very cool bad guys. Like, man, Shang Tsung is a cool bad guy, so it was cool seeing him. And then Quan Chi, honestly, is one of my favorite Mortal Kombat villains. Like, Quan Chi, to me, is like one of the best Mortal Kombat villains. And yeah, just also in the games, his fatalities are so brutal, but so cool. Like, yeah. But the only thing I didn't like about Quan Chi in the movie, I didn't like his makeup. And honestly, that's probably the only thing I didn't like about this movie. Oh no, there are two things I didn't like about this movie. So the first thing is I didn't like Quan Chi's makeup. I don't know why. Like, I just didn't like it. Just looked it looked kind of cheap. I really did not like Quan Chi's look in Mortal Kombat 2. To me, it looked cheap. It just looked like really cheap makeup. But it was really funny though. Like, this is a family channel, so I can't say what Kano called Quan Chi. It was a really bad word, but it was really if you watch Mortal Kombat 2, you know what I'm talking about. Kano said a lot of things about Quan Chi's appearance, which was really funny. But again, this is a family channel, so I cannot repeat what he said because that would be very inappropriate. But yeah, I wish that they made Quan Chi's look a lot better. To me, in my opinion, he looked his makeup looked very cheap, especially like the black eye stuff. I didn't like the way he looked, in my opinion. Another thing I didn't like as well, and I think I mentioned that because I made a review of Mortal Kombat 1, the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie. I made a video about that, and I think I also mentioned that I wanted Liu Kang to be the main character. So yeah, so to me, Liu Kang is the main character of Mortal Kombat. So, you know, I'm happy Cole Young wasn't the main character, but at the same time, I wish Liu Kang was the main character as well. Oh, and here's the third thing I didn't like. There was no romance. I mean, I know it's an action movie, but still, no romance between Sonya and Johnny Cage, and no romance between Liu Kang and Kitana. Like, that was kind of disappointing. We could have seen a little bit of romance from those characters, but yeah, so those were the only things I didn't like about the movie. Aside from that, it was a fun movie to watch. Just enjoyable from beginning to the end. Great movie, great fighting scenes, and yes, absolutely enjoyed Mortal Kombat 2. And yes, if you are a Mortal Kombat fan, definitely check out Mortal Kombat 2. Even if you're not a Mortal Kombat fan, if you just enjoy action movies, martial arts movies, definitely check out Mortal Kombat 2. Though you have to do your research though, because you might be confused. But you'll still enjoy it though, even if you're confused. Oh, and another thing I liked about Mortal Kombat 2, it was the jokes. It was funny. Like Johnny Cage, I felt Johnny Cage was hilarious. Like, he was a really funny character. Like, and also Kano was funny as well. So there were a lot of funny scenes in Mortal Kombat 2, and a lot of funny dialogue said by Johnny Cage and Kano. So yeah, so that's my review of Mortal Kombat 2. Like I said, I made a video years ago about the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie. So if you want to check that out, I'm going to put a link in the description, so you can check that out as well if you want to. And yeah, that's it. That's my review of Mortal Kombat 2. If you're still watching this video, this is a long video, so thank you. If you're still watching it, I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the review. And if you're in a bad mood, hopefully this video cheered you up. And yes, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And also, please check out my books for sale, and I'll put that link to my books in the description as well. And have an amazing day, and I'll see you later. Bye. Mortal Kombat! Bye. Hi guys. Oh my goodness, completely forgot to mention. So you remember when I said that Jade was loyal to Shao Kahn and she ended up reporting Kitana? So yes, Jade ended up turning against Shao Kahn because she realized just how, evil Shao Kahn was. So she turned against Shao Kahn, and then she joined Kitana and the rest of the combatants. And yes, she ended up turning against Shao Kahn. And yes, like I said, Kitana defeated Shao Kahn, and she ended up becoming the queen of Edenia. And yes, Jade was like, her bodyguard right hand woman. So yes, so that's what happened. Completely forgot to mention that. Yes. So Jade Jade ended up turning against Shao Kahn and being loyal to Jade and the rest of the good guys. So forgot to mention that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.